Well, hello, everybody out there in Facebook land, TikTok world, everywhere. There's going to be a portion of this going out to the world, be it video, recorded, or live as we are here. Welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. I am Monty Anderson, your host here at 412 Productions, the art of Monty Anderson. Yes, my artwork right here. So, how are y'all doing today? Good morning, bright and early. We're just a tad bit before that 412 hour, but that's okay. That 412 time frame. So, how are you all doing today? Thanks for the likes, the shares, and the follows as you get here and check things out. Lots to unpack in today's episode. Lots of new horror movies are coming out. We talk about horror movies. We talk about um, sci-fi movies. We talk about comic books. We talk about comic book movies. We talk about all kinds of cool stuff around here. The two things we don't talk about: politics and religion. There's other podcasts for those, and if you want to go talk those, there's the door. All right, so lots of new horror movies dropping. I've been watching a lot of for me, new horror movies on Tubi. Tubi's got a lot of free stuff. Yeah, I've got to watch the ads every now and again, unless you pay their subscription price and all that stuff. But just watch it for the free and just deal with the ads. It's just no different than watching commercials on your regular television show. So, um, whew, what a whirlwind. Normally, have a couple of downtimes. Good morning, Casey. You got your coffee in hand and a cup of water to go with that. Or do you have a V8 Energy? Do you ever just want to take a down day, but you don't? It's like your body tells you that, hey, you need that rest. And I'm glad you do. But you don't listen to that, what your body's telling you. That was me yesterday. We did some yard work, cleaned up the yard a lot. Ended up with probably like 7 or 8 big contractor trash bags full of just junk out of the backyard. And that's still only a small portion of the stuff that we have back there. I'm doing good. I'm a little on the tired side, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because I don't rest very much. Did get a decent amount of sleep the night before, uh, but it was off and on. Uh, just like the last night, got a little bit of sleep, but not a ton. So, but we did a lot of yard work. I did some working up on the truck. Uh, got the new grill put on that I got for Christmas or birthday. I can't remember which one I got it for, but I think it was Christmas. Put the new headlights in that have daytime LED running lights that go in a C shape on the lens. I got to get new bulbs because the old bulbs are just old. They look tacky. They shine the light down the road like they're supposed to, but all in all, they look like shit. They're not bright at all, hardly, and so it's time to get new bulbs. Let's see. I put new fog lights on the truck as well. Got rid of the old ones that used to be in their housing section because they were just not working and they were just outdated. They were yellowy and all that good stuff. Kind of like the headlights. The headlights were pretty bad. Uh, but you got to imagine if they're the original headlights for the truck, they've been on it since 2001. So now that's got a new, fresh update. I do need to find a new emblem, uh, the new Ram emblem that bolts into place because this one does have a bolt hole where you can put the emblem in. So now I got to go on the hunt for one of those unless I reuse the old one, which whenever I popped it off of the original grill, it took the chrome out of the mold, you know. So now it's got this clear spot inside of it that just looks funny. So I need to either get it re-chromed or do something up inside there and then put it on, or just find a whole new piece and stick it on there. So I'm looking at a new piece just completely. And then I think today I'm going to be working on the interior side. I've got the dashboard to put in, plus a dashboard cover that goes across the entire portion of the top, because this one right now has no top whatsoever. You're looking at the guts of the truck if you look through the window. So this will make it look like a complete truck on the inside, and it'll probably just change the way it looks completely once you're inside the vehicle. And there's some other aesthetics that are going to get worked on here and there, like the visor piece up top. It's not the visor; it's like where you put your sunglasses and you can put your garage door opener if you have that, and your two little lights up here. All that's going to get changed out. The drink holder is going to get changed out. Just little pieces like that. And then I've got to get new clips for the door so the panel stays on. Just tiny little things that make your life a little easier, you know. So it's just a lot of work, and I hate working on cars for the most part. They drive me nuts. I get angry, just like working on a computer. When they're not working, I get angry. I get uh, violent with them. So it's not a pretty sight sometimes when it comes down to that. All right, so we frequent a little space called Savers here in Fort Smith area. I don't know if anybody else has a Savers in their location or not. I don't know where they're located and all that stuff. But I know here in Fort Smith we've got a place called Savers. It's basically a secondhand store where you can find all kinds of cool stuff, like secondhand books. I'm getting back into my Terry Brooks stuff. The Sword of Shannara was one of my favorite books back in the day. I want to find the one that I had, which was a gold cover, had color illustrations on the inside instead of these black and whites that you're seeing in here. If I can find one, I know there's one over here somewhere. I just sold it. I just sold it. I know it's seen it. I know. There it is. Somewhere you pass it and it's like, I can't find it now. Right there. In the other one that I had, it had a color page in there instead of this black and white stuff. Um, but I picked up this one, which is the Sword of Shannara, the classic edition. And I picked up the Druid of Shannara. So it falls in line. And you're not paying a horrible amount for them, even though, the books only cost like $5.99, or something like that. So, and it's still in great shape. And it is a 1991 edition. So it's still ancient for some people that are on my show right now. All right. So that's some of the stuff that we find when we go to Savers. I'm going to get into a big find that got me semi excited. Um, some of you may know if you've seen it on my Facebook page, which I didn't post to my Facebook page. I actually posted it to a group, and I'll get to that in just a moment. But first, let's take a commercial break. I'm just kidding. For those of you that deal with this type of stuff on a regular basis, it's quite humorous to me. Good morning. Look at that. You're finally going to be here for the show. You're probably going to be here for like 10 minutes though. But good morning, Roy. Um this type of stuff right here. And yes, you can see it is a profile picture right there. Is in TikTok. It goes to my spam folder. So I have to go and yeah, he's using AI shit for his um avatar picture there. So I'm going to give him shit over using AI instead of using the artist to make him an avatar himself. And so I just want you to do it. If you're going to be out there and asking me these stupid questions, just go ahead and drop it in my account, and I'll tell you what I can do with that money. Um, Hi, gorgeous queen. I want you to be my sugar baby. What if I deposited $9,000 to your Cash App or PayPal? I don't know, Benjamin. Go for it. Everybody go show Benjamin Donald UK some love and tell him just to drop that money into my account, and we'll tell him and see what I do with that money. So, but as you can see down here, I did not respond to this guy. But this is the stupid shit that a lot of people get in their emails on a regular basis. What would you do if I dropped $5,000 into your account? I don't know, motherfucker. Just do it and I'll let you know. All right? And I get it from the female side too, since I run a business. Um, and it sucks, Casey, that you're still not feeling better. I hate it for you. And I'm glad Roy asked, because I would have asked later on. But Roy is more worried about his AI adventures than anything else. All right, so we're also going to be doing a book signing in Ozark, um, 2 to 4 p.m. at the Ozark Community Center for my artwork for the book back here. And and it is a potluck dinner or lunch as well. So those that arrive can bring their favorite dish and stuff like that. But we're going to be there from 2 to 4. I'm going to see if the girlfriend's going to go with for this day. But right there, we'll be going to this March 8th. All right. That's the commercials out of the way. Now, let's get back to little Mr. Man over here. Boom, boom, boom. Some Stitch and a witch hat with a broom and all that good stuff. A witch's broom. I still got the background color to drop in here and then do a little shadowing down here. Right there. But this is turning out pretty cool. It's the memorial piece for Crystal, who passed away right before the new year. I think it was the day before the new year, actually, on the 31st of December. And her ex-boss wanted a memorial piece to hang in the office that would be in remembrance of her and her life's journey. And she was a good egg. She was a decent person. Flawed like the rest of us, but she was cool. All right. So, there is that. Let's see. I did get in one of my first canvases. Oh, oh, you guys just heard that, and I'm sorry. You guys got thrown to the floor. Give me just a second to put this back on, and then we'll get into that canvas. This is print right there. Bum, bum, bum. Get on there, you little piece of. You little piece of. Sorry that you guys have to hear all that. All right, so there we go. All right, so right here is the new canvas prints for the Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne, right there. As you can see, it's got a nice thick border to it. You too can pick up one of these, and it will be a little bit hand done, because you can do a canvas print really well, but it does take some things away whenever you enhance the stuff. So this is a canvas print of my original. Same size, 16 by 20, and you can see the differentiation in colors. True color, computer color, right there. Cheers from Idaho. Sweet. Well, you can pick up one of these or the original. You can hit me up in DMs and we can talk. So, but this is the 16 by 20 canvas print that is available right here. Or you can pick up the original, just like I said. So, but right here, I'm going to be doing a little touch-ups on these. So this is technically going to be a one-to-one canvas as well. I'm going to enhance the flavor of his glasses up here with the silver again, and then reintroduce his cross that is down here that has been taken away due to colorization. Down in here, since it is a dark purple, I will be putting the purple back down on the cross. So basically, whenever he's got his praying hands on, the cross is right side up. But whenever he's holding them down to the side, they're upside down. Just like Peter Criss from Kiss, who wore his upside down crosses on his knees, basically. Whenever people saw him walking around, the crosses were upside down. But whenever he was playing the drums, they were right side up to him. See how that works? So same difference on his cuff. Now, in the original picture that I used for this, he didn't have the crosses on him over here on the cuffs of his shirt, but I put him, or his jacket, but I put it in here, just for added effect. So you can get one of these as well, or a 16 by 20 canvas of any of my artwork right here on the TikTok shop. I have to say that, otherwise I get a restriction, and we only get a limited number of views if I don't say shit like that. It's kind of sad that you got to do that ploy for TikTok, but you too can get one of these readily available right here on the TikTok shop. Yes, right here is the TikTok shop. So there you go. Okay. So without further ado, the great find again from Savers. Again, we find a lot of things. We not a lot of things. We find a few cool things here and there from Savers, but this one has got magnitude, has got weight to it, has got that chef's kiss, that little salt drop. Ace Frehley. I saw him at Durant at the casino perform with Queensryche. Great show. Was it with Queensryche? Yeah, it was with Queensryche. See, I just got a restriction because I'm telling people to go outside the TikTok shop. No, I didn't. You motherfucking piece of shit. All right, so right here, Ace Frehley. Great concert, great show, all the way around. Yes, this is an actual autograph from him, from the show. Picked it up at the souvenir shop after the fact. So, at Savers, we went in, boom, saw it, looked it over, debated. We walked the store. We looked at some other things. I think we picked up one or two other items, some small stuff. Go back, look at it again. It's just like, it's just too much wrong with it. And no, I'm not going to read your stupid comment about my name that isn't true. So there you go. You lacquer lover. LeBay Jams. So, since that is not my name, I will move on. All right. And so I looked it over. We went back the next day. It was still there. I took her back to work. Went back in. And I'm like, well, would you guys take less for this? And they're like, well, it's been here a few days, but if you come back in about 3 days, we'll probably bring it down some more. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just afraid it's not going to be here in 3 days. And they're like, well, if you do this, I'll do this. So we brought it down to a specific price, and I was like, okay, that's doable. I'm good with that price. So I pick it up, and then I find out, if it was mint in box, all that good stuff, it would be worth like $300 to $500. Some people are selling it for $600. Number one, he doesn't have his box. Number two, he's missing his hair. Number three, don't care. I've got the hair ordered. It's on its way. I'm going to make my own hair for him, actually. But without further ado, and if people tell you that they've got a 24 incher, they're lying. Okay. This is what 24 inches looks like, folks. Ace Frehley, he's got to be cleaned up some. He's got to get another little bit of a brighter paint job right here. But Ace Frehley without his hair. He does come with a stand that he sits in. I've got to tear it apart to make sure that everything's working right because it's supposed to play some music when you push that little button right there that he stands on, but he does not. So I'm going to put him on his stand so that you see what he looks like. Again, if he had his hair, it would be a lot cooler right now. But he is fully posable. You know, if you know, oh, right there, 24 inches of Ace Frehley. Now, if you had the whole set, there was an auction that had them, right there, and at auction they sold all four of them in box from the Destroyer collection for a little over $1,500 for all four. So, you know, these things are. This is from 1998, I believe. If I saw everything correctly, it was a Spencer's or yeah, Spencer's exclusive at the time. So I just couldn't pass him up. I did pass him up because he didn't have the hair, he didn't have his box, and as I'm coming to find out, he doesn't have a guitar, which none of them had a guitar for this series. And so, you know, it is what it is. But I'm gonna put some hair on him. The hair is on his way. I'm gonna clean him up because he is a little dingy up here on the face. It's not as white as it's supposed to be. I'll probably clean up some of this tick marks that's on his uh, paint makeup right there because right here on this side of his face, you can see where the paint is bleeding into the silver. So I'll probably touch that up with some silver paint right there. He does have a mark on the back of his head. I wasn't even noticing that before. I can't read it because it's in the dark, but I'll read that. So this is what 24 inches looks like, fellas. So if you're trying to tell somebody you got 24 inches, you're lying because even Ace Frehley knows you're lying. But yes, fully posable. He can take a dump if you really wanted him to. He can twerk. He's the first twerker. I know Roy's getting off on that one. Kind of gross, Roy. Kind of gross. All right, so there you go. 24 inches of Ace Frehley. Once it gets displayed, all this will be together. So, as you can see, he's got brown hair in this, but during his Kiss days, they all had black hair. All the figures, everything that was done had black hair. So that's why I went ahead and got the ink black doll hair that I'm going to replace his hair with because you can see where his plugs are supposed to be up in there. Right there. So it was just too good of a deal to pass up. And whenever I got it for the better price, that made it even better. So there you go. 24 inches of Ace Frehley, the Space Ace. Right there. Space Ace. Dun dun dun. So that's the cool things that you can find sometimes when you're out and about running around places and checking things out. So we're going to be limited on views today because we got the restriction of, you know, buying my artwork. But buy my artwork anyway. This one's going out the door. People are buying this one up already. in hoodie form. Those people that work in a cooler industry type situation, they want this shirt, so they're getting this shirt. Let's see. Not gonna stay now. All right, just throw you right there. So, go ahead and get my artwork any way, shape, form that you can, especially right here from me. Um, and those of you that want a no, it's nothing to you. It's whenever I start talking about buying artwork outside of the TikTok shop, I get the restriction, and they love to do that to anybody that does that outside or that to any artist that is not selling on the TikTok shop. And my price points wouldn't touch their TikTok shop stuff. So that's why I don't sell it there, and I'm not giving them a cut of my profits. So, you know, it is what it is, and it has nothing to do with anything that you texted or typed or anything like that. So don't even worry about that, Roy. Um, so that's some of the cool stuff that you can find if you're lucky. Now, Saber sometimes has some good gaming systems that people turn in or whatever, but you got to be there at the right place at the right time to get those because the girlfriend's ex uh, messages her all the time about that type of stuff that he finds for next to nothing price. $10 for a PS1 or a PS2 or something like that, and we had just been there, and apparently they had it in the back and sat it out before we saw it, and so he's always grabbing those up whenever he finds them, and he tries to flip them for the most part, and he can, after getting them cleaned up and this, that, and the other. But that's just some of the cool stuff you can find. A $600 action figure, if you will, from 1998 for next to nothing. Now, is it in mint condition? Absolutely not. Will it look like mint condition later? Absolutely not. Even if I were to, you know, put some more chrome on his uh his outfit. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. So like right here, you can see how it's falling apart from just use, and it's supposed to look like this all the way around, where it's all bright and shiny. But it's been handled so much and sat out that you can see how dingy it is and how the silver has worn off and all that good stuff, especially back here around his waistband. So even if I was to get that shiny and new again, it would still not look brand new, you know? So I got to figure out how I'm going to rectify that. It's either get somebody to recreate this entire thing for me that looks like a big, sorry, folks, but you know what that looks like. And if you don't, I'm sorry, I'm not going to explain it to you. But if I can get somebody to recreate this, that would be cool too. Uh, Soft toothbrush and club soda. she knows what this looks like. But the thing is, it's already the silver has worn off from it being, I guess, handled or whatever, played with. I don't know, but that that will clean it up, yes, but it's not going to bring the silver luster back. Uh, so that's what I need is the silver luster to come back to it. And I could gussy this thing up. Use some real uh, leather in here and all that good stuff if I wanted to. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ace. I'm sorry, Ace. But yes, we found him at a thrift store, at a secondhand store. Get a light silver nail polish or a silver gel pen. That could work. But I do have some chrome paint per se, some silver paint as well, acrylic. But yeah, the nail polish could work a little better. So I'll look into that and see what happens on that note. And since he's no longer with us, and happened to find that in the wild, it was kind of cool. Even the Kiss collector group that I'm in thought it was pretty cool find. Now you had other people showing me their collection of it as well, but they've got theirs in cases and stuff like that. Now some of them don't have the boxes either, like this one does. I'm crafty to a point, but not when it comes to action figure clothes and stuff like that. Now I know how to sew and I know how to mend and things of that nature, but that's not that's not my forte. I'm lucky to have seen the original band during the Dynasty tour. Well, this was part of their Destroyer action figure line. So yeah, that would they were one that I missed getting to see live, and it's painful. Just like Ozzy was one that I didn't get to see live, but like we just showed, we've got the new canvas prints available. That's what we got a restriction for, is telling people to pick these up outside of the TikTok shop because I don't sell on a TikTok shop. But we do have new canvas prints available. I'm going to be adding some elements to this before this one gets shipped out the door to its forever home. Not to mention the shirt you're seeing now. Just in time for Valentine's Day, you too can get Who Framed Roger Rabbit with Jessica Rabbit and her man Roger Rabbit with the hard eyes right here. All right. But yes, Kiss has been one of my favorite bands for forever. I know some people can't stand them. You know, I got to see him too. Got to meet and hang out with Kevin DuBrow when he was sober. Oh, very cool. Very cool. The reunion tour was awesome. Seeing Michael Jackson. Cool, cool. Kevin was a very well read and intelligent man. Well, good. Well, good. I'm glad that that worked out for you on that note with them and got to see them and hang out with them with the VIP pass, I'm sure. What up, Dennis? Welcome to the show. You missed a lot of cool stuff from the 24 inches of Ace Frehley to his autograph to the new shirt just in time for Valentine's Day. And then, of course, the canvas prints that you can pick up right now. Oh, Mr. Ozzy Osbourne, right here. How are you doing out there, Dennis? And welcome to the broadcast booth. Even though we're under a restriction right now because of telling people to pick up stuff outside of the TikTok shop. Actually, they walked in the gentleman's club I was dancing in. Oh, very cool. Awesome. Was it the Larry Flint Club by chance? Because I do know that one. Only because we were there on Bourbon Street. So, okay. Okay. It was a club in Baton Rouge, so not down in New Orleans. But yeah, we drove by the yes, yes, Quiet Riot. Who played yeah, Quiet Riot played at a casino here not too long ago as well. So, in I believe it was Pacola's Casino, a free show they played. Very cool. That's awesome. Awesome sauce. Everybody, we know a dancer right here. I've been watching a lot of horror movies that involve dancers. I think it was Strippers versus Werewolves was one. It was an okay show. It wasn't horrible. Nice weather for us, going to be 70s Monday and a nice week ahead. Yeah, it's going to be roughly about that same temperature here. Right now, it's about 40 degrees, uh, if I'm looking at that right. I was saying it's 37 degrees right now, and it's going to be up in the 70s. So yeah, I danced in various styles of clubs from 18 to 40. Oh, that's cool. I mean, not many people can say that, you know. Um, but pays well. So hey, I totally get it. And you had youngins at the house too, right? And you were looking out for their benefit, and it's admirable, you know. 10 degrees here. Well, I'm sorry, Casey. You need to move to where it's warmer. But take the house and the view with you, and there you go. Yeah, we're like I said, in the Arkansas area, Fort Smith, Arkansas area, and we don't get the exact same weather that Fort Smith does, just because we're a little bit farther out than that, not by much, but just a hair. So even though I need a room to rent, I'm sure there's some available out there, Casey. There's some relatively cheap townhouses. There's some apartments. There's some houses that you can find relatively cheap. Uh, those type things. And then Roy doesn't even use his bedroom. He might rent you his bedroom. I don't know. Yeah, I'm in Kansas City, Missouri. Okay, gotcha. So yeah, you're up north of us, up north, way up north of us, and of course, Ballerina's in Louisiana, and she gets all that good warm weather down there. Of course, she gets the good food down there too. Them red beans and rice, some jambalaya, some you know boudin. There's two trailers for sale in the trailer park here in Ponchatoula, Louisiana. Well, there you go. She lived there in the '90s, so there you go. No, we had Valley of the Dolls. We had what was some of the other ones? I'm trying to think of some of the gentlemen's clubs up in Oklahoma City, but Valley of the Dolls was one of the biggest ones. That's where most of the people worked. Yes, no, 32. Oh, 32,000 each for the trailers. There you go. Red Dog. Yes, Red Dog Saloon. That's the one. That's where the owner got schmott over some receipts as he was leaving the club one morning. What up, Miku? I danced at Bear Elegance and Tonga in Beaumont. Very, very cool. But yeah, no, there's just some of those clubs that you just didn't want to go into. Red Dog was one of the ones that was more rough in Oklahoma City. Valley of the Dolls was the more tame one, if you will. Um, but yes, the Red Dog, that was a rough spot. Just kind of like Cactus Jack whenever it was around before they turned it into a more family friendly establishment. It was an arcade with pool hall and stuff like that in it, and it wasn't a stripper joint, but it was just a venue kids could go and get in trouble at. You know, one of my bosses got shot at work. I saw it and dove into the dressing room to hide. Yeah, I mean that's basically what happened to this guy, but it was after hours. He was finishing up, had his receipts, was um, getting ready to take them home before taking them to the bank and all that stuff, or taking them to the bank to deposit. I don't remember which one it was, but he ended up getting shot and killed. Outside of the Red Dog Saloon after locking up. So it's not for the faint of heart sometimes when it comes to those establishments. I'm glad you are okay, even though it probably has some lasting effects up here, as many things like that do. So, and I'm sorry you had to go through that, ballerina, because no one should ever have to go through that. Yeah, the manager of the other location was unalived by a regular customer. See, that's just all right. Yeah, see, I knew you wouldn't last the whole show. Slacker. Slacker. Put the Miracle Whip down and back away. I've seen some bad crap in clubs. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's inevitable. Unfortunately, it happens, and it's sad that it does happen or has to happen. But you know, it is what it is, and that's the life that unfortunately you get into with that. You know, of course I'm funny, funny looking, but yeah, you go enjoy that Miracle Whip, and you know all the AI stuff that you've got there, Roy. So go enjoy all that. Had someone tried to rob me, my pew pew was bigger. That's not a knife, mate. This is a knife. That's funny. No, and that's stupid that people try to do that and think that other people aren't prepared. You know, in a biker bar at that. Wow. So you had your 357 on, and they had their little uh, what 22. Go ahead, punk. Make my day. Yeah, no, that would be embarrassing to get outperformed, by a bigger piece. Oh man, somebody got filtered. I'm not sure what you said, but whoever wrote something in there just got filtered. So retype it out in a different way. It could have been a Roy with a parting shot. Who knows? Oh well, good. Yeah, that's a cool gun. I mean, all the way around. Uh, the one I always wanted was the Desert Eagle 50 cal handgun, but never I haven't pulled the trigger on it yet, so to speak. Um, I got my 45 1911 Ruger, and so I'm happy with it. And if I can't hit something with that, something's wrong with me. I thought I was gonna have to use martial arts tonight. Oh, sweet. Which martial arts are you trained in? Mine was Taekwondo, the art of defense, and of course combatives, level 1 and 2 instructor as well from the military. Do I remember all of it? No, but if push come to shove, I would remember most of it. And speaking of martial arts, uh, Casey and I have talked about how uh, Elvis had black belts, but they were, as we you know talked, they were just given to him as clout. So I've been taught various moves by different friends and boyfriends. Well, that's cool. I'm glad they're teaching you some tricks of the trade when it comes to self defense, because everybody needs it, and it's not just women, but men do too. Especially now that you're seeing a lot more crazy stuff happen, like people uh, getting schmott for transactions when it comes to marketplace transactions and things of that nature now. And it's just like always be prepared, always watch your surroundings. That's why I sit with my back to a wall when I'm in a restaurant or something like that. It's just so that I can scan and observe what's happening around me without there being somebody behind me. Um, and it's not a nervous thing. It's just a awareness of your surroundings. You know, when he stepped on me, I took an immediate defensive stance. Did he apologize, or did you throat punch him? Ha! Cha! With the finger jab. Ah, real fast. Get them right there. Karate chop to the side, or straight punch, or even right there, just like that, to that Adam's apple. Even on some women. But I could see that. You get stepped on. It's just like when I'm in the mosh pit area of some restaurant or some restaurants of some concerts and things like that. I'm always still aware of what's happening because I'm always scanning my shoulders, stuff like that. Nope, I just stared at him and walked to my office and called the cops. Well, there you go. I mean, that works too. And but yeah, just no matter. It doesn't matter where I'm at. I'm always scanning my surroundings because you just never know anymore. And it's stupid that we have to, but just be aware of your surroundings no matter where you are. Even getting out of your car in the garage if you haven't shut the garage door. Those type of things. Just know what's around you at all situations and all times. And that goes for you too, Casey, when you're walking out in the woods. You never know. You never know when the mountain lion's going to come around the corner. It was a rough Friday night. Well, I'm sorry. Mine consisted of, like I talked about before you got here, Ballerina was working on my truck. I put new headlights in. I put new fog lights on. I rewired the headlights to have running LED lights during the day on the new headlights. I got to get new bulbs because the ones that are in it are old and just they suck. Then I put the new grill on the truck. Today it's going to be putting in the new dash and the new cover, basically, because if you look at my truck right now, there is no dash. I mean, there's a dash here, but it's all broken. And then the top piece where the sun always hits on a Dodge truck, just tore it apart and just ate it away. You need to be packing here just for the wildlife, sir. Fact. Yes. Oh, I get that. 100%. And I know you are. On a regular basis, and that's good. And I will tell anybody to pack. For any situation, just not those stupid wrong situations. You know, and the ones that you make up in your head. But for life and death circumstances, yes, always be prepared. You know, and who's to say what's a life and death situation? That's what it boils down to. If you feel like your life is completely threatened and you've got the proof of it, by all means, use what you got. We're not advocating violence here. We're just advocating self protection, self awareness. So, you know, those type things. Oh, let's see what else is going to be happening today. I'm not going to be cleaning him up. I'm waiting for the hair to come in on the Ace Frehley Action Figure, and then I'll start the cleanup process, and I'll start the hair cutting because I think it's 36 inches of ink black hair, uh, and I will see if I can plug it in. 100%. I know it's a lot of plug work, but or I'll put it into some pantyhose and just kind of like put it on his head and see what it looks like. So lots of different options when it comes to putting the hair on. So as I'm looking him over, checking it out, but we'll get it figured out, and he'll look cool again instead of bald. We'll make him cool again, not bald. So, but lots of stuff happening in this crazy world. I only recently learned if a customer puts their hands on me, I can fight back. LOL. Yeah, that was the policy of Walmart too. If someone accosted you, you could you know self defense and fight back and all that good stuff. But 90% of the times that people did that worked for Walmart ended up getting fired anyway, um, which is not looking out for your associates. Had to fling one off me a few weeks ago. Man, where the hell do you work? And if you tell me a bakery, I'm gonna say you need to find a different job. You need to go back to the strip club. Oh man, but no, it's a crazy mixed up world out there. The ghetto bingo places that can be bad. Um, I was going to be security at a casino at one point in time, and they were going to have me do go through their courses and stuff like that. But then that's when my mom had her brain surgery, and so I had to go be with her for about a month, and so I let that job go, or I would have been working there probably still now. So because there is good money in the casinos and stuff like that, I know it's not the same as the bingo places, but uh, that would be, you know, if you're in the ghettos. The location I'm at on Friday and Wednesday nights is usually calm. Well, that's good. That's good. But like you said, you had your incidences this Friday. It was a rough Friday for you. So, and I'm sorry that happened, because it's never cool when all that stuff goes down on that note at all. So, especially when you have to feel like you have to fight, uh, which I've only been in that situation a handful of times where I felt like I was gonna have to fight. Well, there you go. You're off till Monday night at 4:45 p.m. Very cool. Very cool. Like I said, you guys can come on down right here, March 8th, 2026 at 2 to 4 p.m. at the Ozark Community Center. There's the address. You too can partake in the festivities of the book signing right there. It's a novel written by a native to Arkansas. Right here, his name is James. Is that right? I think that James Dixon, I believe, is his name. Yes, or James Bishop. I'm sorry, not James Dixon, but James Bishop. And he's writing several novels that I'll be doing the covers for. So, breaking up a brawl in a bar got me hired as a bartender. Well, there you go. See, stranger things can happen. If you too can break up a brawl at a bar, you might be able to work as a bartender. There you go. That should be some of your stories. Have you written a book yet? Are you writing? Are you in the currently writing a book, Ballerina? Because that would be cool. Some of the stories. It's just like the poetry book that I still got to get with her on, Kelly, I believe is her name. Thoughts on thoughts, which is available on Amazon. Um, she's been writing a lot of her poetry, out there, and she's got another book that's ready to come out. She said, but I haven't talked to her in a hot minute, so I need to get with her because we were going to do a book exchange, autograph for autograph. So, but you need to write a book of your life experience. I've got another friend who's writing a book right now about her, true life events that have happened to her in her many years of existence on this planet. And I'm trying to encourage Casey to write a book about his life because he's got a lot of great encounters as well. There were 9 people in it. Took only 5 of us to break it up. I was the only female wrangling females. Well, there you go. That's cool. That's that. I mean, that's a good story to tell. You know, sitting around a campfire, or a fire pit, or an alligator wrangling pit. Because I know they have the alligator farms there in Louisiana. So, that's one place the girlfriend wants to go. She wants to wrestle a gator. And I don't blame her. I mean, wrestling a gator is pretty cool. You know, in heels at that. Never lost my balance. See, there you go. That's very awesome. I would. I've never been in heels, so I don't know that feeling. Now, Roy, on the other hand, he's been in heels many a time. And he's lost his balance. Quite a few times. Since he left, I can talk bad about him. I'm trying to get him to stay or go to bed at a decent hour instead of staying up. He goes to bed at like 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. Doesn't wake up until like 6 or 7 o'clock at night. Sometimes it's earlier, and then he stays up all night long. He talks about how it's messing with his his days and all that good stuff. And what's up, love? Good morning. And and so I'm trying to get him to realize that take a nap, get up, and then go to bed at a decent hour. You know, I lost my balance more in flats than in hills. I can run in 6 inch platform. So you're Scully from the X Files because she could run in heels, and you saw it in almost every episode. Whenever there was a run or chase scene, she was in some kind of a heel. It wasn't a huge like 6 inch or 12 inch heel, but it was a platform heel. In her shoes, and but yeah, I'm trying to get Roy to go to bed at a decent hour so that he can wake up in the morning times about the time for the show, and then be able to last the whole show instead of oh well, I'm going to bed 'cause I'm so tired. Well, dude, I told you, not to stay up all night. But you can't teach old dogs new tricks sometimes. So, and since he's older than I am, he is an old dog. Oh no, I'm just a couple months behind him. I'll be 55 soon. We ran laps on full point in warm up in ballet classes from 10 to 17. Uh, my ex-wife used to teach ballet classes, so I know all about that. She didn't do the point stuff. That was never her forte when it came to the ballet stuff. Tap, jazz, ballet, hip hop, all that good stuff. Or so she thought she could do hip hop. But anyway, but no, she had several of her students that did the whole point classes and things like that. Not students, but teachers. When she had her own studio for a hot minute, so that taught point. So nice, and I mean it does help with your balance, especially in those shoes that kill your toes. Um, I that's some. I don't even see how dudes wear them. The point shoes, to be honest. But I've seen a few that have worn them before, and it's just like I just don't see how you do it. You know, yeah, it strengthens your ankles and all that good stuff going to point, which gives you the balance and all that good stuff. But I no, dance was never my thing. Sorry, mostly the big toe. Yes, it's the box at the toe. Yeah, absolutely. And just to see that thing, that massive box piece down there that had the flat tip on it, so that you could balance on that toe. Even my ballerina up here, my tiny dancer from James O'Barr, doesn't have tap shoes or point shoes on. She's got regular ballroom dancing shoes, is what she's got on. So, but we are basically balancing on on that one big toe. Yeah, and that big toe that's got the hammer toe and the blisters and the calluses and the blood and the stains, and yeah, it's not a pretty toe by any stretch of the imagination at all. Um, yeah, like I said, I was immersed into the whole dance world because of her, uh, and watching all the different classes that she taught and stuff like that. So I'm well versed in the ballet and the other forms of artwork when it comes to the dance world. So I'm not an uncultured swine. I clean up pretty nice too. 3-piece suit, alligator shoes, ZZ top, shop dress man. My toes aren't bad anymore. LOL. When I finished lessons, I always wore closed toe shoes. Sweet. There you go. No, I mean, and it is. I mean, The toes don't really look that bad, but after a performance, they look horrible because they've been beat up so much in those shoes. It's crazy. It's crazy talk. We're up to 38.3 thousand likes, 3.4 down. I appreciate the likes, the shares, and the follows as you get here. I know we're restricted, and our limitation is very our our reach is very limited. Is what I was trying to say right there. Just because of TikTok does not like me talking about my artwork outside of their shop, and I will not go to their shop. I'm sorry, uh, because that gives them my money, and why would I give them my money, even though they give me like 4 cents of their money? That's how much I make whenever people give me gifts and things like that. I usually make anywhere between 4 and 10 cents, off of this platform, which is fine. I don't care, because all of that goes back into canvas prints. You too can get a canvas print of Ozzy Osbourne, the Prince of Darkness, right here, right now. Not on the TikTok shop, you assholes. I've poured blood out of shoes before. All my calluses busted. Yeah, I've lived the disco dance phase. Yes, get it, man, get it. Do you have the disco balls still at the house? That's the question. Because you can still find the mirrored disco balls all over the place now. We were at Hobby Lobby yesterday looking for hair for Ace, and they had tons of disco balls, and you still find them on a regular basis. It's quite humorous. Saturday Night Travolta, that's right. Had that one hand on the hip and then all that good stuff. Had to tape for months. Yeah, I'm sorry that happened because and unfortunately that is the life of a dancer though, especially in those shoes. It does suck all the way around. I've seen some blood, before come out of the shoes, and it is not pretty. The smell isn't pretty either. That's you know even spraying those shoes down, that's that smell is still pretty bad. No, I get that. When you're in the dance moment and all that good stuff, and being a dancer, that's just part of the life. And yeah, no, she sprayed her shoes down on a regular basis, and it didn't help. It didn't help shit. Uh, no matter what spray she used, you just covered up the bad foot smell with roses, or bad foot smell with lavender, and so now you got both smells. And now I'm turned off to those smells. It's like, good God. But no, nah, just again, life of a dancer, all that stuff. I changed tights, taped up, and put my tap shoes on. She did the same thing. I mean, no fucks given. Change in front of whoever, you know, and again, life of a dancer. You're changing outfits, so you got nothing usually on underneath everything. So you take it all off, put your next outfit on, put your new shoes on, go. I get it 100%. And you know, some of the first times that we met back, I met in her office, and and she was changing outfits, basically right in front of me, and I was just like, okay, this isn't awkward at all, but all right. And she would change, get on her next outfit, go on the next class. You know, there were some that would whine and sit out. Oh, absolutely. You're gonna get that with any crew. And since she taught kids, you know, um, to young adults, and then she did have her adult classes for, ballroom and things like that. But most of the time, her all of her classes, not just hers, but her other teachers were kids, you know, between the ages of 5 to 18. So, and you would get those that would sit there and whine, and then their parents would get there and they would be like, "Hey, your kid wanted to do this during class, so they got to do this during class and all that good stuff. See, that's cool. That's very awesome. No, to teach the youth is fun. It's just like whenever I was a trainer in the military and I trained everybody from the lowest private to 3-star generals, how to do weaponry, you know. And it's like, you're a 3-star general. Shouldn't you know this shit already? I mean, I know you're pushing papers and sitting behind a desk now, but um, you should still know your weaponry inside and out. But yeah, teaching those classes and teaching, like I said, everybody from an E1 to a 3-star general. It's quite cool and quite amazing the things that you can teach people if you just set your mind to it. Casey, I'm talking to you. Train people to do what you do when it comes to your music. Just like I'm sure Ballerina can attest to, you know, teaching people to dance at the bingo parlor. My instructor mentor was a member of the Spanish Ballet Company as a child and young teen. Oh, that's awesome. No, that's cool because the Spanish style is completely different. A little more fast paced. Um, expect even in their ballroom movements, it is completely different. They love to watch me dance. I'm sure many people did, and I'm sure you still cut a rug now in today's society. Like I said, at the bingo parlor where you're teaching now, um, teaching them young bucks in the wheelchairs to and the walkers to cut a rug. You know, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I can still bust a move. LOL. I know you can, and because once a dancer, always a dancer. You know, and it's just like it's my muscle memory when it comes to doing artwork and things like that. It's all that muscle memory that you've learned your entire life. And it's just like it's never going to go away. Even when you're using a walker, in later years, you're still going to want to dance. And now your body's going to have limitations at that point in time. Just like I'm sure it's already got some limitations now, just because of the wear and tear that you've put on it through all those years of dance. Just like me through the military, my body's got tons of wear and tear on it that when I'm working out, I feel. Since I've been back to the gym for 6 weeks now, it's like, well, damn, I didn't realize I had that pain going on, but it's the wear and tear. We don't have many with walkers. I mean, can you imagine a tango class with walkers or a ballroom class with walkers? Oh man, that would be a painful class actually. Someone would get hit with a walker, someone would get, you know, ran over with a wheelchair tire or something, because you got a walker over here, you got a wheelchair rider over here. I mean, I know it can be done. Don't get me wrong, and I'm not making light of it like that. It's just that just imagining that type of a class, where people are running into each other because the walkers are so bulky and cumbersome, or the wheelchairs, this or that, you know. But it would be a cute class, 100%. I'll now be thinking about that. See, there's a class you can start, right now. Go to the nursing homes and be like, all right, ladies, let's go. Let's go. Of course, you don't want the guys that would want to join in too because they're the ladies' man out there, you know. And oh, you see all my girlfriends over there? Yes, Mr. Pump. We get you. We get you, Mr. Pump. Oh, lordy. Lordy, lordy. No, but there's a lot of things that can be done. And I'm not making fun of people with physical disabilities by any means at all because I've got my own physical disabilities, you know, and I've got limitations to what I can do. And I'm very forgetful on things, and I blame that on the IED blast that I took, that scrambled my brain pan. And you know, there's I can be looking at an item and not even be able to tell you what the hell it is, you know. Or we'll be talking about something and I'm like, you know, that it does this or whatever, and it's just like totally forgot what it was. You know, I couldn't pull up the name to save my life. But then about 5 minutes later, that is what I was talking about. You know, the post hole diggers or whatever it was. And it's just like, you know, before I didn't used to have those issues, you know. And now it's just like, but luckily with the V I am going to a therapy session. It's a I don't remember what it's actually called, but it's a like a 3 hour session um, of going through all kinds of different testing to make sure that I don't have Alzheimer's and things like that. So for me, it's fibro fog, big brain fart. Yeah, no, I get that, and it sucks. You know, 100%. I hear ginseng helps for that type of thing, for memory. Casey, what other things help for memory? Dancers are true athletes. Absolutely, 100%. Well, I mean, those of you that work with wood instruments as well, woodwinds and things like that, flutes, recorders, you know, many different things like that. You're athletes as well. Just, I mean, the whole the lung capacity that you guys have to use. That's a an athlete's dream in and of itself to not, you know, get completely tired and winded out from all of the breaths that you're having to sustain, you know, throughout the instrument playing. So, so Casey, you're an athlete too. You know, just a different athlete. You know, me, I'm a different athlete because I start running and I think I'm going to die. You know, I can't dance. I can boogie. See, that's good, and hopefully not this boogie right here. See, there you go. I just put two people together. You got a dancer and a musician, and he's going to perform as a concerto while she dances. There you go. Me, I can cut a rug with an exacto knife or a box cutter, but that's about it when it comes to my dancing skills. Um, and I know people can be taught. Ballerina, the ex tried. Trust me, she tried. It did not work out at all. I'm down. I can dance with any type of music. See, there you go. There you go. A bit of classic, if you will. The Nutcracker is going in my head. Yeah, that's one song that she couldn't stand. She couldn't stand any of those. The ex-wife, because they performed the ballet with the different studios that she was with, the Nutcracker and all that good stuff, and so she despised some of those music's uh, stylings. So whenever they came on during the Christmas season or a jingle from, you know, commercials and things like that, she would flip out a little bit. But I get it, you know. Or the Swan, Swan Lake, or is it Swami River? Oh lordy! Hello, my honey. Hello, my baby. Hello, my ragtime gal. As a little frog dances across the stage with his top hat. My first point performance was to dance of the Sugar Plum Fairies. Yes, the dance of the Sugar Plum Fairies. That was atrocious. I don't care. It didn't hurt my feelers or my ears either. Hello, my honey. Hello, my baby. I guess I should put trigger warnings, you know, for you people out there that might have headphones on or are listening to this on speakerphone. That I could break out into song at any moment. We don't know. I sing too, lol. I I sing in the shower. No, I don't. I sing to the radio whenever it's on, and stuff like this every now and again. But no, it's all fun. It's just fun to do. I got you on surround and subwoofer. Sweet. Let's go deep then with the heavy metal, death metal stuff. Yeah. I've sang while dancing. See, there you go. That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, do you do like Rod Stewart and prime your vocal cords with a banana? That's the question we have. Because that's what he did whenever I met him at Shareholders in Arkansas when he came to perform at Shareholders for the Walmart crew. He only did like a couple of songs. Of course, Maggie. Wake up, Maggie. He was a cool dude, though. I was his security escort, if you will. He had his own, but we had to be there with them to take them from the green room to the stage and vice versa, or from the stage to the waiting SUV to take them to the airport so they can get to their next gig. So he was cool. He jumped off the stage after with his banana still in hand after he did his sound check and make sure everything was right for his crew and stuff like that. And he jumps down and comes over to us and beelines it over next to me. He's like, "Hello, boys. How the bloody hell are you?" You know, and it was just like, "Well, it's cool. Yeah, we're doing good." All that good stuff. So he was a cool dude. Tickalo. I do my acapella warm ups. My acapella, 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 and piccolo. So we have acapella and piccolo. I think those are a good combination right there. Yes, I do. They're a lovely combination when they get together. So you two need to get together. Get your piccolo, acapella, and dance on. My parents put me in choir at 5. See, I was in the church choirs that I was always at. Sometimes you're funny as hell. Oh my god. But not very often. I get it. But see, that's cool. Now I was in church choirs growing up, all my life for the most part. Never was in the school choir. Now I was in band for school up until I decided it wasn't for me and gave it up, my senior year to do something else. So I was in church choir and school choir. See, that's cool. And so, I do have a voice range, but a lot of people say it's should be in the trash can for my voice range. But I started on strings in '69. I was 5, been playing since. Don't stop the music. Isn't there a song called that? Don't stop the music. Something like that. I believe there is a song that has that line in there. Don't stop the music. Yes, Rihanna. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not a big Rihanna fan, so I don't think I was thinking of her, but maybe don't stop. That's the name of the song. Don't stop the music. Elementary and middle school for school choir through high school with church choirs. Yeah, that's cool. Now I knew a lot of friends from high school and stuff like that. I can't even call them friends anymore because only a few of us have kept in touch since high school or since school period. Um, had quite a few acquaintances, if you will, that went through the choir and stuff like that. You get to know her right here. You guys can talk. I'm sure she's open to talk. She has a live show too. Uh, Casey. I'm not sure when she goes live, to be honest, and I apologize for that. I need to put the notifications on for you though, the little bell icon, so that I know when you are going live or um, post content. Because I know I'm bad about not hitting everybody's content on a regular basis. So, and that's me. That's some things I want to change in myself. So, but she does have a live show, Casey. So, again, I'm sure she wouldn't be opposed to you guys talking, chit chatting in a messenger. And that's just me being presumptuous. I'm not saying do it or send her a message, but if she's open to it, by all means. I'll be live sometime later this morning. My roommates are still. Who cares? Wake their ass up. My girlfriend's asleep in the other room, so I sent the follow. Well, cool, awesome. So see, bringing people together of talent. That's what we do here. No, we're not a matchmaker. That's not what we're doing here. This isn't Temptation Island. Yes, I believe she had to do that because of some circumstances that have preceded her in being here. So, and I could be wrong on that, and she just could be a completely private person. You know, I play music, not games. But what if the music is your game? Hmm. Nope. One is sick, and my main roommate is not a happy camper in the morning. So give him a damn Snickers and say, "Here, you're just not yourself." Oh, I'll get it. I sent you a follow. Very cool. There you go. See, you spotlighted me, mate. You spotlighted me. See, you're a crooner. You break into the female's hearts by playing the flute so soft and gentle, and then you break into the more hardcore. That's a negative, Ranger Rick. Oh, good lord. No, no, Casey's a good dude. He does love his music, and like I've been trying to tell him, uh, I'm reading the comments. he he does need to produce his album and get it out there into the world. I think you were starting to do some stuff for Spotify, weren't you, Casey? From a piccolo to the bass flute. Talking about my roommates, not Casey. No, my ex, or not my ex, my girlfriend has a coworker that, he gets grumpy whenever he's having to do some things like fast for labs or not eat because he's doing this workout or whatever. And we were talking about him the other day, and she was like, "Yeah, I almost got him a Snickers because he was acting so grumpy the other day." And I was going to say, "Here you go. You're just not yourself, you know, without your Snickers." Violin to bass. The middle school, he played the flute. I'm qualified in so many instruments. See, there you go. My best friend in middle played the flute. See, that's cool. I mean, and we know that you are. That's why I'm saying, drop the album, drop the album, drop the album. Make the album, drop it, and let people listen to it on Spotify, and go from there. Because I know at one point in time we had talked about it, and you were talking. Excuse me, you were talking about adding it to Spotify. So, which is something I need to download again because I don't. I can't figure out how to play that damn recorder. Um, I don't know why I just went into Silence of the Lamb mode right there, but we did because it made me think of the lamb stop screaming, Clarice. I'm a legend in my own mind. In music, I can make myself cry. I move me, lol. As long as it doesn't give you a movement, I think we're good. I play all of the recorder. I've tried to learn guitar and piano. Yeah, no. No, I've tried to learn the guitar myself, and it just didn't happen for me either. Tried the drums, that was god awful. Um, So I just gave up on musical talents all in all. Just go with my artistic ability. You know, that's where I can do some good. All to bass. I got me an electric gift fiddle. Well, that's cool. Does it have the little strap that just kind of lets it hang there, like that one woman that plays the fiddle, the viola, the electric viola? I can't even read sheet music, even taking choir. All of those, yeah. That was the thing that made it worse for me. Being dyslexic and trying to read sheet music sometimes just didn't help. So and that was back when I was held back, in first grade. So I mean, it got better, and I did read a little bit of the music and stuff like that, but it's just too jumbled of a mess sometimes. So it's just like, no, this isn't for me. Yeah, I know we shelled out the money for a clarinet, but you know, I love me some fiddle. I listen to Zydeco music all the time on my lives. Zydeco, Zydeco. Doing the Antonio Banderas voice. Zydeco, Zydeco. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. All righty. Well, hopefully you do guys get in touch with each other and chit chat about all that stuff. Now say it with a French accent. Zydeco, French accent. I don't know if I'm doing French accent or if I'm still in Antonio Banderas. I don't know. What does a French accent sound like? In your head, you lose it all. Things start sounding the same in your own mind. French accent, to Antonio Banderas accent. Very good. Almost sounded all l'occasion. 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 Pepe Le Pew. Oh, yes. Pepe Le Pew. Good old Pepe Le Pew. Better than Speedy Gonzalez. Oh, but yeah, no, yeah. He had the voice for the buzz out there. He liked the ladies. Well, we're done. We're done here, folks. I made her snort. It's all good. We're done. Show's over. Show's over. She snorted. We're good. But no, the whole aspect of Pepe Le Pew was a great one, you know. Um, but I guess there's Depardieu out there too that is a French man, all that good stuff. But no, it's just fun. Just have fun with life. Don't let life get too serious because people are way too serious out there as it is anyway. Um, you can't even make a Facebook post without somebody, you know, being all serious and having, you know, something shoved up their ass because of something somebody else says on a post. And it's just like right here on TikTok, people are way too serious as well. And y'all have a good day now. You hear? Y'all have a good day now. You hear? My family count at events together. LOL. My grandkids make me snort so much I squeak. And she says at Casey, you too. You have a good day. But yes, we are going to end it here um, for now. But hopefully, you guys do get in contact with each other because you guys are both great and you make things great here on a regular basis. Not going to lie. Wouldn't be prudent. But you guys have a great day. And as I like to say as I leave you guys, we will catch you on the flip side. Have a good day, everybody.